Hey, what's up? This is Jonathan Belcher doing this little quick training. Well, I don't really want to call this so much of a training. It is going to be very valuable. I am going to drop some amazing nuggets and some knowledge on you over the course of this video. But I want to do something a little bit different with you today. Now, earlier I was at Home Depot and I was picking up some furniture and some boxes and stuff. So if you see any stains on my white t-shirt, please just never mind that. Just focus on the message that I'm talking about in this video. Now, I'm going to talk about business and just life in general, right? And how I see things, and hopefully my insights and from my experience, you can take that information and it'll help you to have success in your Motor Club of America business or whatever business that you decide to take advantage of. But anyway, when I was thinking earlier on, I was talking to a friend of mine and we were just talking about people who had breakthroughs in different businesses across different industries and stuff like that. And we were asking, we were talking about what is that thing that causes people to have breakthroughs. And that led me to wanting to do this training video for you because I thought there's something to be said about just, business and, going from point A to Z, going from maybe struggling in your life, dealing with something that you don't want to deal with, to really living a high quality of life of freedom, living a life of purpose, living an abundant life. So I'm going to be talking about how to be able to make that transition in your life and in your business over the course of this video. So now, some of you, I know a lot of you probably don't know, but some of you do know that I also do music as well. That was one of the main reasons why I got into online marketing, being my own boss, was to be able to have time to do music. And thank God today I am financially free. I can do music whenever I want on the side. But it's pretty funny how I grew a love for this business as well. But the reason why I wanted to bring up the music industry is because that's one of those industries where, let's just say, for example, you probably have a favorite artist or somebody like that, but think about music and how people progress in the music industry or any industry for that matter, right? Usually when the person is brand new, we don't really take that person seriously, right? We don't really think that they're the greatest. We don't call them the best. We don't call them legends and stuff like that when they first start out. And honestly, we may not like a music artist or, a musician when they first start out at first. But over time, as they give us more material and they give us more songs, they give us more projects, and they keep showing up, after a while, we start liking this person, right? We start liking their music. Especially if they have a song on the radio that we hear 24/7, 365. What happens is, we start to understand the words, we start to learn the words to a song, and this can create us becoming a fan of an artist. Well, when you think of music industry in that light, you have to think of it in you have to think of the same way how you think of the music industry or any industry that takes time for you to build. You have to think of the online business, internet marketing industry as well. For example, Motor Club of America, right? When I first got started in my first online business, it took me 2 to 3 months to get my very first commission. 2 to 3 months, right? Of nonstop grinding it out, taking action, learning the business. Finally, after 2 to 3 months after getting started, I made my first sale, right? And then why do I bring this topic up and I share this story so much with you guys is because what if in less than the 2 to 3 months I would have gave up? What if I would have said, this is not working, throw in the towel, this is not for me? I would still be broke at my 9-to-5 job at security, making $8.50 an hour. I would still be in debt. I would still be living a shitty ass life, trying to figure things out without any direction or purpose if I would have gave up within those 2 to 3 months that I was learning the business. So I say that to say this. A lot of people, I'm gonna write it down. A lot of people, they just quit too fast, right? Most people, they just quit too fast. And there's something to be said about consistency and there's something to be said about patience. Unfortunately, we're in an industry where it's a self-taught industry, right? And it's one of those industries where we have to manage our own time and we have to be our own boss. And some of us, we're not used to that because we've been so used to working under a 9-to-5 system where we're told what to do. We know when to go to work. We know when to clock out. We know how much we're getting paid by the hour. But in the business world now, right, it's a little different, right? But what I'm going to tell you is one of the main reasons a lot of people fail is that they just quit too fast, right? Like I said, it took me 2 to 3 months to make my first sale. And then I released a training program called the MCA Training System Pro have people within just 2 days plugging into the training and making their first sales, right? Now, why do I make up that comparison where it took me 2 to 3 months to make my first commission online, and then I have new students plugging into my MCA Training System Pro and within just a few hours to a few days making their first sale? The reason why I bring that up is because if you look at my success today and you look at what I accomplished up to this day and you look at, the amount of value and the amount of stuff that I've shared, I've done on YouTube and stuff like that, you wouldn't be able to believe that it took me 2 to 3 months to make my first sale. You wouldn't even believe it. You'd be like, John, you're lying. John, you're not telling me the truth right now. There's no way that you took 2 to 3 months to make your first sale. Well, the truth is it did, right? But I never gave up. I stayed focused. I kept going, right? And there's just something so sexy about having that drive and that consistency, because one thing that always kept me focused on my journey was every time I wanted to give up, every time I wanted to throw the towel in, guess what? I thought of the reasons why I got started in the first place, right? I thought about my mother. I thought about my family. I thought about the people out there in the world who I wanted to inspire. I thought about the kids in other countries who were telling me, I appreciate your videos. Oh my God, I thank you so much for your value and your teachings. I started to think about, just future generations, my children, and that's gonna come in the future, right? I started to think about all the great reasons as to why I got started. And then I said, you know what? I can't give up. I can't turn my back on the people who are depending on me and who are relying on me to show them a better way, right? To inspire them, to motivate them so that they too can break through and live a financially free and abundant lifestyle. So really and truly, a lot of times I find you find the greatest motivation in the people that you love most. And I find that people who quit the easiest in their business and quit the easiest when they're given opportunity is when they're not thinking about the people around them who are watching, the people around them who are, seeing them as an example. So if you really want to tap into your motivation and you really want to start to take massive action in your business, start to think about why you got started. Start to think about the people you love so much. Start to think about the nights where you cried and you were down and out, because I had plenty of those nights when I was down and out, behind on the bills, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out business, right? Blood, sweat, and tears. And those nights made all of what's going on today worth it. It makes every last thing that you go through worth it when you actually come out on top and you succeed and you do what you said you came to do, right? And I can remember about 5 years ago, I said, I'm gonna quit this 9-to-5 job. I said, enough is enough. I'm tired of this lifestyle. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being in debt. I'm tired of not being able to live life to my greatest potential. I said, once I make a decision today to get started on a business, I'm gonna commit to that business until, right? And that's the difference. A lot of people have an if mindset, right? They have an if mindset in business. If I get my first sale in a week, I'm gonna continue. If I get my first sale in the first day that I join the business, it's a real business. If I get my first sale, they have an if mentality. But me, and what's gonna separate you from those who fail in business is you gotta have, I know with me is I always had an until mindset. An until mindset. And what do I mean by an until mindset? What I mean is I made a decision. I made a decision and a commitment that I am going to stay committed into this business until I get my first sale, right? Until I have my first $1,000 month. Until the very first person is willing to join me in my business. I'm not gonna stop investing into my training. I'm not gonna stop learning from mentors who are more successful than me and who are sharing great knowledge with me. I'm not gonna stop learning from them until I have a breakthrough, until I quit my job, until I can retire my mother from her job. You see the difference in mindset? I didn't have a if mindset or, if this doesn't happen, then that means that. You know what I mean? I didn't put a time limit on my success. And I understand, you may be going through some, pressure, some time under some pressure right now in your life where time may be sensitive right now, but you got to realize that especially if business is brand new to you, every human being has to learn the game of whatever it is they're trying to do when they're new to it. Even if I just brought out a new video game, right? NBA 2K18 just came out the other day and I love that game, right? I always play that game every single night. I'm playing NBA 2K18 because I love that game so much. But I've always been playing NBA 2K from like many years ago, right? From very, very much when I was much younger. So I still kind of have an idea and I still know how to play the game. But could you imagine if I said, Say I'm gonna start playing NBA 2K for the very first time, and I'm gonna expect to be an expert, and I'm gonna expect to beat those kids who've been playing 2K for many years already. Could you imagine me coming into something new with that mindset, thinking that immediately I'm gonna become rich, immediately I'm gonna have the greatest amount of success? It's not really a realistic approach to life and business, right? And when I do my trainings and when I do these videos, I always want to be truthful, right? And if you want to get access to the MCA Training System Pro, it's a one-time fee of $97 that's responsible for hundreds of sales in the Motor Club of America business. I'm so proud of my associates and my students in MCA who are killing it applying my MCA Training System Pro. You can see proof of that if you click the button below. You can get it if you want. If you don't want it, that's perfectly fine as well, but I'm gonna continue with the training. But could you imagine me playing NBA 2K18 for the very first time and expecting to be a complete expert and a complete pro? It's not very realistic. I would have to be willing to play the game a few times, maybe consistently, right, over again, a couple days of the week. I have to be willing to play, and then gradually over time, I will see my skills get better. Gradually over time, I will be able to beat other people who are good at NBA 2K18. So what I'm trying to say is that there's really no competition but you. But if you quit too fast, you won't know what your full potential is. You won't know how good you truly are at something. There are so many, 90% of the people I know in MCA who are Motor Club America members, they never even did not one video yet, right? And then I talk to them, and it's so funny to me because when I talk to them, they tell me about their sponsor, they joined a sponsor, right? And their sponsor is doing videos, right? And I ask them the same question. I always ask MCA associates the same question. I say, okay, so what was it about your sponsor that made you join them? What was it about your sponsor in Motor Club of America that made you join your sponsor? And I guarantee you're probably gonna say, well, I seen them on YouTube, or I seen them posting on Facebook. You're gonna realize that there was some action that this person was taking on a consistent daily basis before you started to take them serious enough to join them in the business. Why is that so important? Because the same way how I said in the beginning of this training, I spoke about the music industry, right? And I said that in the music industry, we may hear new artists and may not like them at first. But after a while, they keep releasing songs and they keep releasing, melodies that we may like, or keep releasing projects, mixtapes, albums that we like. And then guess what? We're a fan of this person. We love their work, right? But right out the door, we didn't love them. Right out the door, we didn't want to listen to their music. Right out the door, we weren't willing to buy tickets to go see them at a show. So what happened? What happened was the music artist was consistent, right? The music artist just kept showing up, kept doing their thing, right? And then that's how it just happened, right? Eventually things just started to build and build, and they became successful. But one of the easiest way and the fastest way to have success, of course, I always tell people, the easiest and the fastest way to have success, and this is something that I pride myself on from the very beginning in my online career and journey. The easiest and fastest way to have a lot of success in your business is to get with a mentor or invest into a training system where a mentor is successful or has helped other people become successful. That's the easiest and fastest way to have success in anything that you do. It doesn't matter if it's MCA, it doesn't matter if you're trying to become an NBA star, it doesn't matter if you're trying to become, the best at NBA 2K18. The best and easiest and fastest way to have success in anything that you do is to get a mentor and also get some type of training, get some type of business education from people who have been there, done that, right? Because through their experience, you can follow in their footsteps and model after them, and you'll get similar results, right? And I always tell people that, just think about it, for example. People who, let's just say a heart surgeon, people who want to go to school to be heart surgeons, right? They may have to go to school for 15 plus years, right? Like about 15 years. There's a lot of years a heart surgeon has to go to school for, right? Now, we know that in that 15 plus years, there's a lot of information, probably about 70% of the information that a doctor is in school for, right? 70% of the information they're not going to use when they actually become surgeons, right? We know that. They're probably not going to use 70% of the information is not even going to be remembered or used, right? But they still had to learn it to get a degree. They still had to learn it to get their doctor's license or whatever the case may be, right? Now, what would be the fastest and easiest way for somebody to be successful in something if they want to be a heart surgeon? What is realistically the fastest and easiest way? School is in place, of course. Why? Because, they got to do things through a system, right? They got to pay teachers, got to get paid. Teachers have jobs. So there has to be a system where you go through all this schooling, even though 70% or maybe even more, right? A lot of times it's like 80, 90% of the information in school that you learn you're not going to use at your actual job. But what would be the fastest and easiest way, let's say if you want to be a heart surgeon, to learn? The fastest and easiest way is to become buddy with the heart surgeon, right? Who's practicing this on a daily basis, who does this primarily as a profession, right? And shadowing them. That would be the quickest and easiest way to get results if I wanted to be a heart surgeon. Let's just say, obviously you have to go to school to be a heart surgeon, but what I'm saying is, if you're following a heart surgeon and you're there every single day and you're watching what he's doing and he's telling you why he's doing it every single day, his routine, and you're seeing it every single day, you're shadowing him, he's teaching you stuff, before you know it, you'll be able to do what that heart surgeon does, right? Much faster than taking 15 to 16 years in school, right? Because the heart surgeon is going to show you, this is what I do on a daily basis. And that's all there really is to it, right? So what I'm trying to say is there's a difference between hands-on, somebody who's actually teaching, who's doing something that they're teaching, and it's different from a person who's just, trying to just say information that's not really factual. But it's a difference when a person is speaking from experience. And a lot of times whenever I do these videos, I'm always speaking from 100% experience. I'm always speaking from not only what I experienced myself, but also what I observe in the marketplace, what happened to these other entrepreneurs. Why did this person go from, struggling at a 9-to-5 job to becoming a millionaire? Why did this person go from making good money as their own boss and then they quit and then now they're back at a 9-to-5 job? It's through these observations that we get better. But the main thing is, you never want to give up too fast without knowing what you're good at. And before you can know what you're good at, you have to learn something new, right? And before you learn something new, you have to get with somebody who's teaching that something that you need to know. And another thing too is, here's another one. Here's another one I got to talk about when it comes to success. The know-it-all, right? We always have the know-it-all, right? For example, we have the people who are heart surgeons, for example. Let's say a heart surgeon wanted to make money online. Let's just say for whatever reason he wants to make money online. Just because a heart surgeon is a heart surgeon and he's great at that field, he's an expert at that field, it does not mean that he's going to come to an online business and kill it. He's going to struggle just like everybody else. It's a new field for him. It's a new, he could be smart, intelligent guy, a brilliant genius, right? But that's in heart surgeon. That's in being a doctor. That's in his field. Stepping into another field now, you have to humble yourself, right? And we always have the know-it-alls. I already know how to do that already. I already know how to get leads. I already know how to post on Facebook. I already know how to market. Well, if you knew how to do it, you'd be getting sales every day, right? You would have quit your job already. You would be living financially free if you truly knew how to do it, right? So one of the best things that I did when I first got started in business is I dropped my ego, right? I realized that although I was a smart kid going to college, right? I was a smart kid, got good grades. I knew that online business was something new to me. I knew that I needed to get with a mentor quick. Somebody who was already doing and then at first I was doing some things and I was still not getting results. I thought I was taking the best action. But when I learned from a mentor, I realized there was a lot more stuff that I was not doing or I did not know. And had I had too much of a big ego, I wouldn't have been able to learn from that mentor how to make money online and how to make money in Motor Club of America. So I say all of this in this video to say this: never quit too fast, right? Remember why you got started in the business that you're in. Who's depending on you? Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your mom, right? Maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a sister, I don't know who it is, right? And also, you always gotta have the until mindset, not a if mindset. The if, this is setting you up for failure. This is setting you up for failure. If mindset is setting you up for failure. Have the until mindset. I won't stop doing what I gotta do until I quit my job. I won't stop doing what I gotta do until I make my first sale. It's a very different mindset that empowers you to get better. And also, never have too big of an ego. Always be willing to learn. Always be willing to absorb knowledge from people who are successful. And that was really the whole point of this whole training today. If you want to get access, you can get access to the MCA Training System Pro below. That's not forced, it's up to you. I'm only looking for serious people who really want to skyrocket their results, guys. My name is Jonathan Belcher. I will see you at the top. Peace.